call the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for July 27th, 2022 to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the town clerk please call roll?
Trustee Beckman? Here. Trustee Dean?
Here.
Trustee Lane?
Here.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ehrlich?
Here.
Mayor Austin?
Here.
And I'd like to note that Trustee Wakeman is absent.
Thank you. Does anyone have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Madam Mayor, I would make a motion to add the compensation plan to the action agenda.
Thank you. Any other changes? I'll take
Second.
second. Okay. Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Dean?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, we are at the citizens' comment portion of our presentation. We have two guest speakers tonight. The first one will be running for Congress is Barb Kirkmeyer. She would like to make a few comments. Please approach the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Barbara Kirkmeyer, and I live at 6100 County Road 4, Brighton, Colorado. It is in Will County. I think some of you know me formerly as your county commissioner, Will County Commissioner. I come here tonight because I just wanted to reintroduce myself and introduce myself to some of you that may have not known me from before. But it's just that I think local governments, especially municipalities, are extremely important. And as a county commissioner, made sure that we developed great partnerships with our municipalities. And I want to carry that through as I become your congresswoman. I want to have a great partnership, be able to have a working partnership where if something's going on in Milliken that I need to know about, whether if it's about transportation or if you remember a couple of years ago with the COVID dollars, how we all worked together to make sure those were divided up in a fair manner throughout our county, things of that nature, and anything that should come up that is related to the federal government. I want to make sure that you know that you can call me at any time because again, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where, boots on the ground, you guys are doing it and getting the job done. And I want to make sure that you understand. I want to be a part of that with you and be a partner with you on whatever I can. So that's the only thing I came here for tonight. Don't need to take up a bunch of your time. I am going to leave some of my cards. It does have my personal cell phone number on here. So this number's good regardless before, after the election. And please use it if there's something that you think I need to know about. I would greatly appreciate it. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give these to your clerk. Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next up tonight, we have Ms. McCowett with Civica, who is going to give us an update on our charter school doings.
Thank you for having me. I'm Sheena McCowett. I'm the principal of Civica, the charter school in Milliken. I just want to give you guys an update. It's such an honor to have this school in this town. We have so many people that are bringing their children here from way over in Meade and Windsor and Platteville and Gilcrest, and what an honor for 50% of the kids from Milliken to have the school, but also to give the choice to other families. I just want to give you an update. I know it's going to sound crazy, but there's a shortage of teachers in the world, so I happily can say I am fully staffed. The joy is a lot of teachers no longer want to teach in the public schools, and so they want to teach somewhere where they really feel that they can do the right things by kids. So I have an amazing staff. I've hired 6 new teachers. Another cool thing about my staff is 6 are males and 6 are females, and 6 of us are over 35 and 6 are younger. And there's a lot of power to just having a healthy staff like that. 90% of teachers are usually women. So there's something very healthy. If you ever want to come over, you'll feel the dynamic. I'm also honored to have 60 new students who've enrolled this year. So we have 200 spots open. We've filled about 170. So how exciting on year 2 to have 170 students in the building. So every single one of them, sometimes I have parent nights and I always say one day and one child at a time. And that's just kind of how we've been doing it. So that's really awesome. We're excited for Beef and Bean Day. We're honored to be the Grand Marshal of Beef and Bean Day. We have the Kids Cube barbecue we've been working on. We also have a couple of our teachers who are going to be judges in the barbecue. I noticed in the back today, Mayor, they were doing the cement in the tubes. We're doing the elephant toothpaste thing for the kids, which if you don't know anything about it, it's like hydrogen peroxide and yeast, and it's going to be red, white, and blue, and so that'll be really fun. But we are very excited to be a part of that in the parade, so that we're always proud to be a part of that. You know, we're expanding our high school, so we're a career academy, so we are building our $2 million remodel. On the other side has a medical terminology lab, which is their first career lab on the medical terminology side, and then we have a business systems lab, which is the social media marketing. Both of those are on the path to industry certifications, because you guys know at Civica we want the kids to graduate ready for the world, ready to either go into the workforce or the military or college, whatever it is. So we're really excited to offer that to our high schoolers. We also want to always focus on our students made amazing growth this year. When they came to me, a majority of them were 2 to 3 grade levels below in reading and math, which is how we got into the district. You have to prove a need, so it was true, the need was there. And we made 30% growth in reading and 25% growth in math. And if you can look at that, it means many of them made 2 to 3 years of growth in 36 weeks. So we're doing some amazing things in that building. And we, of course, are going to start the year off focusing, and you know, financial literacy. You guys are the one that brought that to me, and I got the Dave Ramsey in there. We really are focusing on all of those strong cores. But we also this year get to finally start bringing in some electives. So I hired an art teacher. Miss Hartman's going to start a choir program and a music program, and we have PE, and then we have the career explorations with the medical detectives. And that's just really a school, once you start having the kids, you get to bring in these amazing things. My class sizes are only 18 right now, or 15. So there's so much power to having these small, beautiful classes with these highly certified teachers. So we are very proud, and that construction should be done. Phase 1 will be done second week of August, and then that whole other side remodel, which is the cafeteria, auditorium, and all of this, will be done in December. So we would love for you guys, if you get to on Beef and Bean Days, we'll have the building open, and the Combat Vets Association, Motorcycle Association is going to be, I don't know if you came last year, but they rode the flags on the back of their motorcycles, and then they brought the flags in, and then we ceremonially respected the flags, and then each flag was put up with respect. You know, the foundation of our school is patriotism, to tell you the truth. So we are very excited about all of these things happening at Civica. We're proud to be in Milliken. We're proud to be a solution for 170 students. And parents, it's great. They have a choice. It's very important. I don't care where you send your kids, but it's sure nice to have a choice. So we're excited, and thank you for letting me do the update. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Looking forward to Beef and Bean Day.
Yes, absolutely. Next week, Tuesday, we'll do a test run on elephant toothpaste.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. McCowan. Are there any more citizens' comments that are needed to be made? Would we be looking at Ms. Honorado? Do you have anything? Nothing? No? All right. Closing citizens' comment and moving on to, it's always one of my favorite pieces. We have a swearing in ceremony of not one but 2 individuals tonight. So, Chief Garcia.
Mayor, members of the board, good evening. At least I didn't say good morning. So tonight I want to introduce you to 2 of our newest members of the police department, members of the team for the town of Milliken. The first one is Joshua Lopez. I'll just brief you a little bit about Josh. He was born in Longmont. He was raised both in Longmont and Milliken, and his family has a long history of being in this community. And it's a community he's proud to be part of. His mother, Christina Garcia, is a social worker with Boulder County, and he accredits his sense of compassion, understanding to all her hard work with families throughout the years. His father, Eliseo Lopez, is a truck driver and one of the hardest working men he has ever met in his life. Without his father, he would not be the man he is today. He has taught him a strong work ethic and how to smile in face of adversity. He also has one sibling, his sister, Magali Lopez. She is one of the strongest women, and through her children, his niece and nephew, I think they're here, his niece and nephew, have shown him a stronger sense of love. Finally, his girlfriend of 6 years, Charlotte, and Charlotte right there. Without her, his dream of becoming a police officer would have never happened. Through all of her love, support, encouragement, and understanding, he and her as a team accomplished his goal of graduating the police academy in December and finally accepting the position to serve as a police officer here in the community of Milliken. So next one is Adrian Montanez. He's the newest code enforcement officer. Adrian grew up in Denver, moved to Johnstown about 4 to 5 years ago in pursuit of starting a career as a public servant. Several members of his family are currently in the first responder field. His brother was a firefighter. His mother was a court clerk. His uncle and aunt are currently in the medical field. This is a great opportunity for him to begin his career serving the community as a public servant. Adrian has attended the Community College of Denver and the Community College of Aurora. His background also consists of de-escalation training and communications, which is a plus as he continues serving our community as your new code enforcement officer.
We'll start with you, Josh. We'll start with Josh first. You're going to go to the front. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Josh Lopez,
Do solemnly affirm
that I will support and enforce
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the state of Colorado
and the state of Colorado
and the ordinances of the town of Milliken,
and the ordinances of the town of Milliken,
and shall faithfully perform
and shall faithfully perform
to the best of my abilities
to the best of my abilities
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police officer
for the town of Milliken.
for the town of Milliken.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I
I,
state your name.
Adrian Montanez,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and enforce
that I will support and enforce
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America
the Constitution and laws of the United States of America
and the state of Colorado
and the state of Colorado
and the ordinances of the town of Milliken,
and the ordinances of town of Milliken,
and shall faithfully perform
and shall faithfully perform
to the best of my abilities
to the best of my abilities
the duties of a code enforcement officer
the duties of a code enforcement officer
for the town of Milliken.
for the town of Milliken.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Chief Garcia. All right, are there any comments on the meeting minutes of July 13th, 2022? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Was that
Madam Clerk?
Nicole? I'm sorry. Was that? Okay.
Town Clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Lane.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Beckman.
Yes.
Trustee Dean.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ehrlich.
Yes.
Mayor Austin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Acknowledgement of the paid list of bills. Are there any questions? Nope. Hearing none, we'll move on to the town administrator's report. Administrator Powell.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a quick update on a couple of things. I have a meeting scheduled with Forest Leaf, Scott Holwick, and members of the Central Colorado Water Conservancy District. And this meeting is in regard to the first use water, and that meeting will be held on August 9th. So I'll bring you an update from that meeting. Currently, right now, I'm waiting for a response from Central Weld Water District for a meeting date. Staff would like to discuss where their new treatment plant will be located, the types of water they will accept, and when they anticipate this new plant will be accomplished. As soon as that meeting is scheduled and held, I will let you know the update from that. I do have a meeting with ALLO next Tuesday, along with Johnstown, Meade, and Berthoud. And this is with a couple of the representatives from there. So hopefully I can bring you more information in regards to that. Unfortunately, the RO plant is still down. I would like Don Stonebrink to update you on that, since he can speak of it a little better than I can. So.
Good evening. I just want to let you know the good news is we've worked through a lot of delays. Most of them were related to the defects that we had that shut us down. We've had some material shortages, some unexpected delays with carbon from the process getting into pipes. So we had to do some work with Stanek constructors to try and work around some of these things. So everything's right now is back together. The carbon just got loaded into the bioreactor as of yesterday. They worked through some control issues and got done with that about 5:30 this afternoon. We should be able to start flushing that carbon to get it cleaned up, seed the reactor, and our hopes are that we'll start the plant up on the 1st.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Okay, and I do have a correction. I did inform the board last week about the good stewards of our last meeting, the good stewards of our community, the youth that were picking up trash around Centennial Park. I had thought they were with the Boys and Girls Club, but they were not. They were children from the TRPR summer camp. So I did receive an email from their program director, Abby Herman, and she sent me a picture showing me how much the children were enjoying the popsicles we delivered to them, or I should say our park staff delivered to them. So she just wanted you to know that she appreciates us thinking about these children that did this work. So.
Great. Does the board have any questions of the town administrator? No? Any comments? Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next item is the consent agenda, and we have the reappointment of Bruce Gray, Kaylee Wickham, Michael Orcutt, and Laurel Engelbert to the Planning Commission, along with an IGA for the coordinated elections with Weld County. I'll take a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Trustee Dean?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have the action agenda item that was added for the compensation. Mr. Nickerson, Finance Director.
Good evening. This item is, we were asking for board approval of the compensation plan that was discussed in the work session. We'll probably bring this back at a later time with a budget amendment to meet the appropriations.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Nickerson? No. Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve the compensation plan.
Second.
Town clerk, please call for a vote.
Trustee Beckman?
Yes.
Trustee Dean?
Yes.
Trustee Lane?
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mayor Austin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. We have two things remaining. We have the information, the CML attendees would like to present what they went to. So who wants to go first on that? Okay.
Podium then?
That would be good.
Okay.
So we can
All right.
keep it up.
Good evening. I'd just first of all like to thank the City of Milliken for paying for my attendance and everyone else that went. was very educational. I didn't even know what to expect. I didn't even know what the Colorado Municipal League did. I had never thought about it. And so I thought for those of you who have never attended and don't really know anything about it, I thought of an analogy. And if you just bear with me, I know this might be kind of different, but how many of you have been to a NASCAR race, have watched a race? Okay. So in NASCAR, you've got a bunch of teams and a bunch of cars, okay? And all the cars have, there are teams that have just a lot of money that will sponsors and ownership groups that are just have a lot of money. So you think of the city of Denver or Colorado Springs or Fort Collins, those are your big teams, okay? Then you've got all the little teams that might just have one or two cars. And Milliken fits in that category, okay? So you've got your pit crew. That's everyone that actually is involved in just making sure the car is running. So that's all your town officials, your crews that are out there, working on the streets and everything. There's a lot that goes into operating that car, and all the cars basically do the same thing. Just some are a little fancier or have a lot more money, backing them. And I thought of our town administrator. She's a driver. She knows everything that's going on. She's driving that car, and we're just enjoying it. As the citizens, we help pay for it. We're part of the ownership team, and we might just be in the stands, or we might get in there and go see the pit crew and kind of learn a little bit about it. And then there's a few people who actually are part of the ownership team that actually help to manage the day-to-day operations. And that would be the trustees and the mayor. And so you're probably thinking, well, where does CML fit in all of this? Well, the engine is not only the town government, but the state government. They're involved with making sure that engine is running, and NASCAR has all these regulations and all these things that you have to follow. That's the state as well, okay? So CML, what is CML? Well, they are the equivalent to the oil in the engine. What's the oil do? They help it to run properly. They help keep the friction down. Friction meaning between what the state wants us to do and what the city, just the operations of that engine. And so also, CML helps with education. All of the things that happen in the state, all the regulations, they help keep us abreast. We've got newsletters. We've got people from CML that actually, I think they sit in on the legislative sessions. They keep us abreast of laws that are coming down so we can be aware, so we can maybe protest or say, hey, you might want to change this. So there's just a lot going on, and it was really neat to see all of these quote-unquote NASCAR teams. And someone like a Dan Dean, who used to be a driver, and he knows pit crews, he knows drivers, he knows all about NASCAR, he knows all about city and state government because he's been involved for years and years. And for someone like me to step in there and say, wow, there's all these people that this is their career, this is their passion. And so I saw a lot of passionate people. There were people that were there to speak on different things like water and regulations. There were so many different things that we did. Like I was involved with one, two, three, four. There's like at least 6 or 7 different sessions that I went to. One of the most interesting was the city of Littleton, and Heather and I attended that one, and it was, are you ready for strategy? And Littleton, the one thing that struck both Heather and I was they had they had a graph or a PowerPoint, and there were all these things that were going on, and at the center of it was a vision and values and mission. And when you look at our compensation plan, it really made me want to just sit down and just read through our comprehensive plan. And I saw all sorts of vision statements for the various goals and things, areas that we're working on, but I never really saw any simple, like overall, all those different visions shrunk down to one solid vision statement for the whole thing. And then you go on our website and you don't see anything about this is our town values. You might see some things that were agricultural, community and all that, but nothing that just these are our values and no true mission statement. So that's one thing that I learned that I would like to see as part of our new Town of Milliken comprehensive plan, to maybe isolate what our vision is, our overall vision, our values, and our mission statement. That was pretty important to both Heather and I think, that we got out of this. But the other thing, just to wrap up, is that it was really neat to have people there that were trustees, just like us, and to meet other mayors, other town administrators, to talk with them about things that they're dealing with. All the towns are dealing with kind of the same things. They're just attacking it maybe a little bit different ways. But it was really neat to meet some of these people, and I'm really looking forward to getting back together next year and seeing some new seeing some of the same faces and speaking with some of the same people. So anyway, I hope that the analogy kind of made you think a little bit, but I could have went on and on because I've been thinking through this a lot, and it's one way for me to kind of understand what we're involved in and each of our places in that wheel, in that cog, in that engine that makes our city run and our state operate. So that's what I got out of it. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Trustee Dean?
Sure, do you want me to go up there, or I can do it from here?
Oh, it's your choice.
I'll do it from here. First of all, I missed that session, but I regret it because that's one of my favorite topics. And I would add to your vision and values strategies, individual strategies to accomplish your goals. And I attended a number of other sessions, and one that in particular, I attended one of the attorney sections on ethics. And that's always one that's kind of near and dear because you see so many people lose their way, if you will, if they don't stay focused on it. And it gave me food for thought on how to maintain your highest standards as a board member and as an individual. I think that's one of the big things that we all need to keep in mind, whether it's in our personal life or here on the board, is, and I've always had a value statement, do the right thing for the right reason. And it's guided me well. I think that really covers what I've seen from the conference.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Trustee Beckman?
I wasn't aware I was supposed to prepare something. So didn't really. But I can just tell you that I had a great time. I learned a lot. Really enjoyed having conversations with people from all over Colorado in various roles, talking to mayors, town trustees, police chiefs, things like that. It was really interesting. I will say that was probably one of my favorite sessions that Brian and I attended. The one thing that I took from it besides that was they actually were specifically talked about one of the aspects was when they increased their sales tax. And the whole process that they went through. You know, they hired an outside company to really do a campaign to teach the citizens on what this would do for the town, you know, how it would impact the town. And what they found was they were going to ask for, I can't remember the specific numbers, I think maybe a 0.5%.
And 3/4.
And they ended up, after doing a lot of education and doing some polling and things, they ended up actually, the citizens wanted more. And so they ended up doing, I think, 75% or whatever, or a point up, and it got passed. And it was purely from education and campaigns and talking to people and stuff. And I think it was a really good lesson, especially for a topic like that, like taxes, where a lot of people jump to the conclusions of, no, don't raise taxes. I think it's something it was really interesting to see them educating the town and how they did that, and they talked a lot about that. So I found that really beneficial and learning a lot from that. Another one that I went to that I really want to talk to Chief Garcia about was a police chief, Wheatridge, I believe. He gave us a mini, very watered down training on their how to deal or handle people with dementia. And it was fascinating, and it was actually really, really, really good. And I talked to him afterwards, and he said that he would be more than willing to come up here and do that for our team. And I suggested maybe we get a couple of the local departments around to just so it would be worth his time to come. And the Evans chief was there, and I think he's good friends with him as well. But I do have his card. And I talked to Cheryl as well about it, but it was really beneficial. He gave us some really good tips, you know, things that happened in Loveland recently. I think it's really relevant. But it was really good. So I'll talk to you more about it, but I definitely think that that's a really cool opportunity too. So, and I went to that purely for my interest, but yeah, I thought it was really beneficial. I'm looking forward to going next year. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, last piece of business for tonight is Beef and Bean Days coming up, as it's been mentioned several times. We need to ensure that we have board coverage at the booth from when the parade ends at 11 o'clock through about 4 o'clock. Trustee Wakeman has said that she will be there from 2 to 4. So she will be covering at that time. It will be beneficial to have multiple trustees available at the same time. Unfortunately, Trustee Nicole is engaged during that time.
Wasn't that part of the new elected ones? They get to...
we need mentors.
Every single meeting, Mayor Pro Tem Garlic, every meeting. Last meeting, it was 1.5 questions. We need to be prepared to talk to the citizens about debrucing and sales tax, which the Administrator Powell is having information prepared for us to hand out. We want to get out there and really talk to people and engage them, as well as supporting our Community Development Director, Pepper McClanahan, with the comprehensive plan that she will have also at the booth. And yes, the booth will be misted for your comfort. You will get lunch tickets in there.
And just to add a little bit to that, if I might, Mayor.
Yes.
So we have retained Slate Communications, who we've used before, to help us with promoting items such as debrucing. So they're very well versed in a lot of this, and we'll have information from them, since you know, typically staff we don't have the resources in which to do so. So outside agencies are always best to use in that.
Will we be having at least a short training on this before Beef and Bean Day?
Well, hopefully. Depends on how quickly we can get this material to you. Yes.
Well, if you show up on Friday to help set up, we can train you.
I don't want to be trained on Friday during setup.
That's how you learn the best.
And you can't move. You can't go anywhere.
There you go. You will receive via email from our town clerk the map where to meet prior for the parade. It will be out at TRPR, by 9:20, and you'll be able to ride on the float. And again, Do not hit the children with the candy. I repeat, the children love having their candy, but do not hit them with it. We need to be responsible people in the community. Any questions? Bring up that potato can again. Go ahead. All right. If there's no further business before the board, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're out.